Alright, Stream 2. Awesome stuff. Just loaded back up into the game as Japan. Alright, we were working on getting our artillery brigades over to our frontline troops. Absolutely fantastic. So we're just going to sort of power through here. We are losing resources relatively quickly. And we're not really making much in the way of money to be able to fund our stockpile purchases either. So it's going to be possibly a matter of making more supplies. Yeah, we're already exporting supplies for money. And we're exporting energy, which is fine. We can afford to export energy, but yeah, we're also exporting supplies to the United States. I do think we need to bump up our supply production. Unfortunately, taking industrial capacity away from other production. But if we have a surplus of supplies, then we can trade that away. I'm not going to pay attention to it manually still. But yeah, it is important that we maintain a budget surplus so that we can have our AI make trades to get everything situated, get everything done. We have a surplus of spies. We are making 0.1 per day. Let's flip-flop these. Cut down the spies to 0.5 per day, so we can make 0.3 diplomatic influence per day. That averages out to like one new trade deal every 3 or 4 days, so it's not that bad, not too bad at all. So we're just continuing on. We have the second artillery brigade in this province. We can't quite combine it into an actual brigade quite yet. We need to wait a significant amount of time, unfortunately. Supply production. I think we will continue researching this. I mean, to a large extent, we do need to worry about all of these techs now because we're so short on resources. But I'm not certain that's going to be like an additional 5% supply production. Is that really going to be necessary for us? I suppose yes. In the future, it will be. So yeah, we're gonna keep on dumping our tech points into there. See, we've got fairly inefficient research, but radio detection equipment is done, which is fantastic. We now need to start building radar stations. It will be important for us because of our, relatively speaking, our small air force and how much we're going to be focusing on the Navy. Being able to see where ships are well before they actually arrive somewhere is going to be relatively important to us. Oh, we can't build radar quite yet. Why is that? We have it. Oh, we need... Okay, that's a 1939 tech. Okay, we got radio detection equipment, which is weird how it allows you to research that first before you research radar. It's a little bit strange, but hey, whatever works. Let's combine... Oh, can't do that. There we go. Let's combine our artillery brigade with one of our infantry brigades. Should be just fine over there. And we do have a number more being built, so that should be a-okay. Should be just fine. These are the infantry that we are going to convert into motorized and potentially light armored. We already have one motorized, so we'll see what happens there. I'm not entirely certain what I want to do with them quite yet. But I know that I don't want infantry and motorized in the same brigade. Like, this is ridiculous. Why would anybody do that? So we'll put them to use when we have a little bit of extra industrial capacity hanging out, chilling around. Okay, aircraft carrier engine is ahead of time, but that's okay. And our hangar is not ahead of time, and we do want to research that. Now our aircraft carriers that we're building are completely out of date, which sucks just a little bit, but hey, you know, you do what you can. Here we go, another artillery brigade. Once again, we're going to drop them off in Nagasaki, load them up, bring them over here to Port Arthur. I think we're going to switch from IC percentage over to IC efficiency because we're having difficulties supplying our actual units. Sorry, our factories. We're having difficulties getting enough resources to actually run our factories. In fact, we're now trading away a significant amount of our supplies, so we might... Well, I mean, it's probably going to be okay. It's probably fine. Don't worry about it. We already have an artillery. Let's finish off the 4th Corps first before we move on to the rest of them, just so that we know where everything needs to go. There's another artillery brigade. There we go. And then we strategic redeploy another one over here. There we go. Good stuff. And another one. All right. Isn't it awesome how they all come in piecemeal, so we can't do them all at once? That's fantastic. Absolutely lovely. We are losing money again, trading away a lot more than we produce. So let's take a look at our trade deals over here. Exporting supplies, exporting more supplies, exporting more supplies. Well, I think we just need to trust that the trade AI knows what it's doing. I really don't want to spend time micromanaging that nonsense. It really doesn't make much in the way of sense. Computer is much better at keeping track of everything than I am. I don't want to spend that much time looking at... Oops. Whoa. Looking at every individual little thing. Basically like once a week, just to make sure that we're doing efficient trades or some nonsense like that. It doesn't make any sense. There we go. And we had another one. Yes, okay. We're basically finishing off this this unit here. Basically finishing off the entirety of this, I think it was the 4th Corps. Awesome stuff. Better light tank reliability. We'll keep working on that. That's important if you don't have very many light tanks. It's an important tech to keep up to date, I think. And yeah, it looks like the entire 4th Corps is now equipped with artillery, which is fantastic. We'll do the same thing next with this corps. Just as soon as they actually get built, which looks to be... The first one's going to be built in August, next one in September, and the rest of them will finish in October. We're sort of pushing it a little bit late, unfortunately, but I think that our army is good enough to push a decent amount into China without too many problems. And we have until July of 37 before we can click that button and start the what is it, the second Sino-Japanese War? I think it's the second one. The first one got us all this stuff. And we might need to worry about these units as well. They don't have any artillery attached to them. Except for this unit, which is just a stacked infantry. Australia has broken our trade agreement. Olympic Games, yes, that's fine. Random flavor events, fantastic. We have a lot of spies going. Let's start sinking spies into nationalist China just a little bit. Manchukuo is our puppet, so we need to be supporting the ruling party in Manchukuo. That's another thing we can use our spies on, rather than just have them sit there and not really do anything for us. We will continue working on our infantry organization. That's a very important tech. The sooner we can get that, the better. And we are also researching operational level organization up to the top of the list, because that's desperately important technology. Reduce the amount of time between all of our attacks to pop it right. And we've started receiving more of our artillery, so we're just going to move them over here. Move them to the front line. French government's not doing very well. Things are fairly standard over here in Europe so far. Nothing really too out of the ordinary is going on. I mean, it's only August of 36. The game hasn't really gone on for very long. And there's that operational level organization. Once again, we're going to bump it right back up. We now can wait for one less day in between our consecutive attacks with the same unit, I'd say. Oh, we need more supplies. Let's bump up the supply production again. We are green on all of the numbers. Absolutely fantastic. Which is a good thing. Hopefully with the invasion of Japan and then the invasion of some other, maybe islands, we will be able to actually, you know, not rely on too much in the way of foreign trade for this, for our own factories. I mean, we only have 94 factories and we can't supply them all. More artillery. And let's attach this artillery to an infantry unit. There we go. Unfortunately, we are mixing reserve units with non-reserve units, but I'm sure that will be just fine. We have light cruiser main armament. That will be ahead of time if we continue researching it, but I think that it's important that we do so. If we're going to be focusing our navy only on light cruisers, destroyers, and aircraft carriers, then it's fairly important that those are pretty good. Like, we need to make sure that those are the best units we have. We have some interesting, like, we started with a bunch of these 4 stacks of infantry. Just really tough infantry divisions without any artillery support, which, I mean, it is an interesting choice. I'm sure it would work. It's just, while we don't have any artillery, I can understand it, you know, like, but we're building artillery now, so we're going to want to go through at some point and make sure that we have all of our infantry supported by artillery. They're just better if they're supported by artillery. Artillery doesn't take up any space along the front, and it basically, like, let's look at the infantry division. We look at a square, which is 4 infantry brigades within one division, and we've got a combat width of 4, hard attack of 4, and a soft attack of 12. Now, if we bring that down to 3 infantry plus an artillery, we have the same hard attack, 2 more soft attack, but a combat width of only 3. So if the front line is has a total width of 12, and we're talking about square infantry, you could fit 3 of these along the front line, which gives you a total soft attack of 36. But with the triangle ones, with the infantry supported by artillery, you can fit a total of 4, each of which has 2 more soft attack than the other ones. So we're not talking about 36 at this point. We're talking about 4 times 14. Which, you know, I'm doing math live now, but it's 28 times 2, 56? 56. So we're talking about the max soft attack deployable on the same combat width. This is 36 using these infantry, and this is 56 using this this infantry setup. Now, obviously, this is more expensive, but it's going to be a more efficient use of your manpower, of your firepower. Artillery is just, basically, it's a necessary thing, and that's going to just get better as we do more research as the time goes on. Like, each upgrade to soft attack and toughness and support for our infantry is important, because each, like, even if we only go up by, like, 0.5 for our soft attack for each upgrade, that's going to be multiplied by 3 for our triangle divisions, and by 4 for our square divisions. But when it comes to, oh, where is it? It's in armor. For the artillery barrel and sights, this adds maybe like 1 or 2 more. This one will add a significant amount, both of defensiveness, toughness, and hard attack to the entire unit. So it's, honestly, artillery is a necessary thing. And it's much better to add an extra artillery division, sorry, artillery regiment, artillery brigade to your to your infantry divisions, rather than, you know, stacking up with just a whole bunch of excuse me, of infantry along the front line. Hey, the Spanish Civil War has started. Everybody's going to intervene. Italy's intervening. Haven't seen Germany intervene yet. I'm sure they're going to be... Yep, there we go. And the nationalist Spanish forces want to build one of our aircraft. If you want to pay me money for one of my aircraft, that's fine. I will accept that. We do not have the ability to actually intervene over there, which is fine. Like, we don't need to. It's completely outside of our sphere of influence. Alright, light cruiser anti-aircraft armament. It's pretty much secondary, but that's the only thing on boats that we can actually upgrade. We can actually improve using this upgrade tab for our ships. There are some mods that let you actually upgrade ships, like take them out of service and rebuild them, basically, but we don't have any of those. Let's attach this artillery unit to an as-yet unsupported infantry brigade, infantry regiment, to get the structure down. Brigade, regiment, and division are 3 separate things, and I can't keep using them interchangeably. It's absolutely... It's wrong. It's just plain old wrong. More artillery. Send it back over here. Oop. Nope. Wrong place. There we go. And better aircraft carrier, anti-aircraft guns. That's fine. We're actually significantly behind time on that, so yeah, we'll do that. It basically just makes our carriers better against enemy carrier air groups, which presumably is what they're going to be fighting, if they're fighting anything. Okay, we got better artillery stuff. I think we need to continue getting better artillery stuff, even though it's ahead of time. Let's focus hard on the things that we know we're going to be using a lot of, instead of investing resources in things that we might not use basically at all. It looks like, yeah, we only need one more artillery brigade over here, and here it is. And then this first corps is also going to be completely done. Awesome. So up here we've got 4 cavalry units. Ooh, let's do one of these things. We'll even them out. I'd love to get some engineers up here to attach to these guys. Maybe even take these guys back home, back to the home islands, and upgrade them into motorized infantry, or even light tanks or something like that. That might be good. But in the meantime, we'll just make a first cavalry first cav corps, and we'll attach that to our first and as of yet only army, and that'll be just fine. Can we combine them yet? No, we can't. Nope, not quite. Got another one up here. Let's move you over. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Looking good. Alright, it is October of 36. We've got roughly 6, 7, 8 months before we can click the button that starts the Civil War. Now, there is a possibility, like, the way this game decides, like, what the reaction of countries are to you, the player's actions, is all based on die rolls. You know, it's RNG. There is a possibility that the Chinese will just capitulate. Will just not fight us. Just give us what our demands are. It's a very, very far out possibility. It's really not likely at all. But especially if the nationalist Chinese have the Civil War going badly for them, and it looks like Civil War is over. Yeah, they're not even at war with each other anymore. Like, neither side has won, but they declared a ceasefire for some reason. If the Civil War is going badly for the Chinese, they may just decide that they can't afford to fight both the communists and the Japanese. And if they decide that, then the communists will never approach them with the offer of a temporary ceasefire to team up against the Japanese. So it'll just be the civil war, but the communists will be fighting a weakened nationalist Chinese. But we'll see. That probably will not happen, let's be honest. But with... okay, we have a plus 25% officer training benefit. We're honestly not expanding the army too much, but we're only educating 5 officers a day with this investment. I love this whole research thing we're doing, but we do have a significant amount of ahead-of-time research. Like, that list is just getting longer. So for the next few months, I think, let's sink 8 tech points, 8 leadership points into this officer training. This will provide 40 officers per day. That's a pretty good amount, I have to say. It shouldn't slow us down too much in terms of our research. And getting this officer ratio up to as close to 140% as we can is probably going to be a necessary thing. Fighter pilot training is fantastic, but it's not necessary. We're really just looking to improve the morale and organization of our carrier air groups, because I am a little bit worried about fighting the United States aircraft carriers and all that fun stuff. Because at this point, our CAGs aren't doing too spectacular. I mean, they've got okay soft and hard attack, and really what we're looking at is increasing the air attack and sea attack numbers over there, specifically the sea attack numbers, because I'm not planning on using carrier air groups to like fight with enemy interceptors, only against enemy carrier air groups. I mean, it just sort of makes sense here. So the nav pilot training, the fighter pilot training, TAC doesn't matter, all of that, and apparently the close air support as well. All of these techs increase the organization of your carrier air groups. Again, and also the naval strike tactics increases the efficiency of your carrier air groups. I'm not entirely certain how all of those numbers stack up against each other, but basically you want as many bonuses to your carrier air groups as physically possible. Alright, we've got an even better aircraft carrier hangar. I think we're going to keep on dumping tech into our aircraft carriers, and just as soon as these ones get launched, the end of March of 1937, we're going to build more actual carriers rather than just the escort carriers. Right now, we have a practical of 1.5%. We started the game with just about 10%. It decreases really quickly. When we finish building one of them, the practical will go up significantly. Another thing we can do is start researching the theory, naval engineering, which will reduce the decay rate of, obviously, naval engineering, but it won't decrease the decay rate of our actual tech. Theory is a difficult thing to wrap your head around sometimes, but basically these numbers down here influence the rate at which you can research these different techs. So right now we have our naval engineering is at 11.5, which means that anything that has to do with naval engineering, like these things, you see they have this naval engineering icon right here. We are getting an 11.5% bonus to our research of all of these things because of the naval engineering practical. And the more you research in Navy techs, the more you actually benefit from researching further naval techs. And this practical, the aircraft carrier practical, is what influences our build rate over here for the carriers. If we can increase that, that is fantastic. It lets us build carriers cheaper and easier and with less resources and with less investment, just because our shipyards are used to building them. It's a pretty good thing to want to have. Okay, we're supporting the ruling party in our puppet Manchukuo. Do we have the ability to build Marines yet? Not yet. I'd love to build some Marines, but we're going to need to do that while we're at war with nationalist China. Possibly Shaanxi as well. It all depends on how the war starts, like in what different options the leaders of the different countries take. Sometimes it's fun to play as nationalist China. especially if you can bait the AI of Communist China out into this region right here, and then cut them off in here. It's sort of difficult to do with your mainly militia army as nationalist China, but you can win the Civil War before Japan attacks you, and that puts you in a really good spot. More artillery. And we're getting really good at building artillery. Our practical. Let's just take a look at this practical. In practice. We now have a reduction in cost and time of 17% because we've basically only built artillery. So each one of these is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as time goes on. Not by significantly much, but artillery is decently expensive, so it's good to be able to build them cheaply and easily. Yeah, let's sink more into reinforcement. We'll just sink half of a point into reinforcement costs. That seems fine. We are building more convoys, which is necessary. I don't know why we started with so few convoys. Considering our entire army is overseas, it would make sense to have convoys, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah, this is where we're at. We're working on the 3rd Infantry Corps, getting them hooked up with artillery. Light tank armor advance, and we can now build tank destroyers, which I don't think we're going to be building. Let's switch over to the engine for the light tanks, because the light tank research also affects your motorized and mechanized infantry brigades. So it's important to keep those topped up. Alright, we are now almost at 120% officer ratio, which just means that our troops will be reinforcing their organization at just about 20% faster than normal. Yeah, we need 2 more over here, and then we can start moving on over here to the 2nd Corps. Now, technically, during this period, the Japanese army and the Soviet Union were having, I think it was called the Battles of Galkin Gol, or Khalkhin Gol, or however you say it. Minor, well, not really minor, but it was a small undeclared war along the border region here. The Soviet Union was heavily invested in building up the Trans-Siberian Railway, connecting their capital of the East, Vladivostok, to Moscow with a direct rail line, and the border between the Japanese puppet of Manchukuo and the Soviet Union was very much in dispute, especially this region over here into Mongolia, which is basically the Gobi Desert. Like, there's the Gobi Desert up here, and then a small mountain range, and this region over here is technically on the Manchurian/Chinese side of the mountain range, but it was controlled by Mongolia, which the Russians took away from the Qing dynasty. It was a weird, crazy war that I really don't understand the purpose of, but what it did do was convince Stalin that he couldn't necessarily trust his Far Eastern generals to be competent, really. So he removed them from power after one of these skirmishes. Did not go very well for the Soviets, and put in power one of his favored generals, who basically sat out the entirety of the front over there. So, of the Eastern Front, Western Front for the Russians of World War II. Mountain warfare equipment is fantastic. We've got desert, might need Arctic. You've got some jungle in here as well. Let's do the jungle research. It's 1939 tech, never mind. We'll just do the Arctic stuff. We'll fully equip our infantry with all the different terrain fighting equipment, just to reduce the attrition. Make sure that we take as few losses as possible to attrition. Okay, we get the chance of losing one national unity and sinking more of our IC into tech until March, so for a few months. Or just sinking it into tech until March. Oh, there's a 50% chance of doing this. Okay, so we can choose to either have that daily descent change 100%, or a 50% chance of having that daily descent change and losing a unity. Well, let's do it. Oop, we lost the unity. Okay, well. Took the risk. Didn't work out. Alright, we have finished, what is this? The Suzuya. The first new light cruiser we've built. Fantastic. We'll put it in with the outdated Navy, because it is an outdated ship. It's a level 3 light cruiser, and we have other level 3 light cruisers. Actually, I'm not sure that we do. That might be the most up-to-date light cruiser we have. We might want to attach it to our carrier group. Where is our carrier group? Here it is. No, okay. We've got level 4 light cruisers over here. That's weird. We started out with better light cruisers than we can build. Yeah, these guys have model 1941 equipment. Wow, we don't even have that yet. I wonder if we bought the designs from somebody else, or what's going on over there. Okay, well, we just built a new outdated light cruiser. Fantastic. Yeah, we're going to start work on the carrier air groups for the carriers that we're building. It looks like we're going to miss out on finishing this carrier air group at the same time as the actual carrier. It's 4, but that's all right. And we can begin building more light cruisers. The Agano class light cruiser. Let's see. Do we have any techs for light cruisers that are just about to finish? No, not until July. So yeah, now would be a good time to continue to build light cruisers. We just finished one, so we'll just build one. Next one's gonna launch in April, which is the same month that we're also gonna get our 2 escort carriers. So yeah, sounds fine. Up to about 125% officer ratio. Things are looking good. It's just the beginning of 1937. And another artillery has been deployed. Time to transport it over to Port Arthur, and then from there to the front line. Have we combined you? No, we haven't. Not yet. There we are. We've got the 3rd Corps entirely combined. Full 50,000. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. We can now begin work on the 2nd Corps, and then we will be done. We will be completely up to date with our infantry, rather than just triangle brigades of infantry with no real support. Oh my goodness, we need so much consumer goods now because of that random event. Major worker strike and a parliamentary scandal. Ridiculous stuff. Well, okay, so that means we can't actually build our carrier air groups or that new light cruiser or even our old light cruiser. We are continuing work on the 2 regular escort carriers and our convoys and the artillery, but other than that, we need to basically use all of our production at this point for consumer goods. So there is a, well, okay, let's not sink that much into upgrades. I do want to continue building our artillery. There is a sort of exploit that you can do, not just as Japan, but as anybody. Basically stay at war for as long as possible. Being at war lets you use different laws, and in the base game they're just a straight-up improvement. They're just plain better than a peacetime laws. It's over here in politics. We already start with war economy, but as soon as we're at war and, I guess, outnumbered, we can move up to total economic mobilization. It gives us an additional 25% efficiency. In addition, not there. We can go to heavy industry emphasis, which basically means that we don't need to worry about consumer goods, basically that much at all. We can go up to service by requirement, which increases our manpower recovery rate. We just have a lot of good options when we are at war that we don't have when we're not at war. Move you over here, please. We don't have anyone over here just yet. And yeah, we might actually want to care about infrastructure. That might be a possibility in our future. We've got decent airfields, decent naval bases over here. I'm not worried about fighting the Americans just yet. Although that is going to be the challenge. Actually fighting and beating the Americans. Probably going to want to worry about the war in Europe first. Take India away from Great Britain, move over here, and possibly invade the North African front. Just take that route away from the British. How about this? How about we worry about one thing at a time? Let's not plan the invasion of India before we've invaded China. That makes good sense to me. Okay, we need less consumer goods now. We must have had one of those modifiers go away. Yeah, looks like. That Parliament scandal nonsense has gone away. I would like to finish the next rank in operational level organization before we declare war on China. I think that's going to be, it's on top. April. So yeah, that'll be done well in time for actually declaring war and taking on China. Because we can't click that button until oh, when was it? July. Yeah, that's basically perfect timing. And we can build Marines now. Fantastic. That's wonderful. So let's continue working on generic infantry research. No more artillery quite ready yet. We need one more here and one more here. And these are cavalry units. We're not going to attach artillery brigades to them. So the rest of the artillery we can transport over to this unit over here. And strengthen these guys a little bit. Let's put someone in charge of you. And you as well. There we go. All these guys have leaders? Yes. Yes, we do. Alright. Doing good on the leadership front. And it looks like our other random event has gone away. We now no longer need to invest in the vast majority of our industrial capacity into consumer goods. Fantastic. We can actually start on the production yet again. Fully reinforced, everything's up to date, everything's doing well. That little event delayed the production of our new escort carriers just a little bit. Random nonsense happening to other countries that we don't care about. And we have a significant amount of diplomatic points. Now we could start aligning ourselves to the Axis, or even to the Allies if we want to. I don't think that's really in the cards right now. We'll let them waste the points on that. So maybe we just take it away from diplomacy for a little bit. We've got 50 points. Knock it down to 1/10 of a diplo point every day. That's fine. We're going to keep investing in officers, 40 officers per day, until we reach the 140% officer ratio, because we will be building some new units just as soon as we have free industrial capacity to be able to do so. More than likely they'll be Marines, just plain old Marines. Maybe we'll attach engineers to them to give them even less negatives in. Yeah, that makes sense. Got a 5% combined arm bonus then, and yeah, I think that works. doesn't really give them any... I mean, it gives them more defensiveness, which is a necessary thing for Marines, because Marines are basically just infantry that doesn't have heavy weapons brought along with them. So yeah, we will be building more units, but we don't need to worry too much about hard naval invasions just yet. Not against the Chinese, anyway. It's going well. We're up to 136 on our officer ratio. I forgot already how many more of these we needed over here. I just said it. We need 1, 2. Just 2? Yeah, just 2. Alright, good stuff. We'll put 1 up there. And hopefully we can supply these units, because we are rather dramatically increasing the supply requirement of these units. Argentina wants to build one of our close air support aircraft. Fine. That's fine. Alright. We've got a decent amount of spies on nationalist China. Let's increase their priority. And what are we going to do? Well, let's sink it into counter-espionage. That way our spies can basically roam free. Run around free. Not need to worry about it. The undeclared war. Yep, everything looks good. Looking fine. Artillery isn't quite there yet. Alright, here's the last artillery that we need over on our northern line up here. And there's the operational organization. Fantastic. Now we do need Grand Battle Plan. That's the next thing we need. Absolutely need this as soon as possible. It's a 1940 tech, but it dramatically increases the chance of your reinforcements actually making it to the front line, which is basically a necessary tech. Cannot overemphasize it enough. Everybody wants to build our close air supports. We must have excellent airplanes. Through no, action of mine. Alright, we now have enough industrial capacity left over, not being used for upgrades, to be able to build something else. Let's start work on our Marines. We'll build them as reserves, and we'll build a full five core of them in parallel. Yep. If we could build them at full strength, at full speed, excuse me, they'd be done in 1937 of this year. But yeah, we're just going to add them to the list. As we finish these artillery brigades, we'll assign more IC down here. They are fairly expensive in terms of industrial capacity, but we're also very close to finishing our first escort carrier. In fact, later this month, in just a few days, it'll be done. There it is. The Hosho. We are going to add you to the first carrier group, I think. Don't slow it. Oh, you are slower than everybody else. That sucks. Well, I do think it's important to have you in here. We have a fine screen ratio. I would like better light cruisers in here, but it's not necessary at this point. And that's unfortunate that we're down to 19 kilometers per hour because of the Hosho. Slower than the Soryu class. Well, we're going to need to build faster carriers soon. Oh, and its range is abysmal. But it's not... Okay. Its range is bad, but that's not the limiting factor. It's our old light cruisers and the old destroyers that we have that are really limiting our operational range. So we will need to worry about the range over here. We need to do some destroyer research and some cruiser research, and probably over here in the... Where is it? Underway replenishment? No. There is a range option over here. I know there is. Thought it was underway replenishment. Well, it's fine. We have plenty of bases in the Pacific. We should be just fine on our range. Am I just absolutely confusing something with something else? I probably am. Probably don't know what I'm talking about. We'll see. I think we just need to research engine tech, yeah. But hey, this is a nifty bonus here. Better organization, better leadership. Oh, okay. We also finished the Chitose. We'll add you to the carrier group as well. And yeah, I think we're going to add the light carriers that we're building. Sorry, the light cruisers that we're building to this navy. And we've got the carrier air groups being built as well. Let's take a look at how much that increased our capital for carriers here. Sorry, our practical. We're up to 17.3%. I think we want to lock them in now. Yeah, we'll build the CAGs along with them. The Akagi and the Amagi. Wonderful. And yeah, they're down to 7.25 industrial capacity. We basically just got a 20% discount on them. And we lose practical over time, so you want to queue them up as soon as possible to lock in their the effect that the practical will have on you. And this is it. Ah, the Hindenburg. German passenger airship Hindenburg was destroyed today while attempting to dock at the Lakehurst Naval Air Station in the United States. For reasons not yet determined, the airship was engulfed in flames and crashed to the ground, claiming 35 lives. Due to the scarcity and expense of helium, the Hindenburg, like all German passenger airships, was designed to use hydrogen, which provides greater lift but is flammable. With public faith shaken by this disaster and the rise of much faster passenger aircraft, this could spell the end of the airship era. Oh, the humanity. The Hindenburg disaster. Doesn't really affect anything in the game, but I guess it was a notable enough event that Paradox felt the need to include it in the game. Honestly, we all, like, almost 100 years later, we all still know the name of the Hindenburg. Because it crashed. Alright, we are officially at 140% officer ratio, so we are going to take the research points away from officers yet again. We're going to go back to training just 5 officers a day. And, well, let's sync this back just a little bit so we don't have that extra tech stuff. And that should be fine. We will be gaining more leadership when we occupy northern China over here. And we're probably going to want to start building garrison units with police as well. Just to cut down on some of the nonsense. Well, I mean, cavalry would probably be fine rather than build dedicated garrison units. Okay, we started to have artillery that we don't need to transport over there. So we're going to transport it over here. And technically, we have a square infantry division and a bunch of triangles over here that we can add artillery to. So we've got... You can't have any... What just happened? Unmount. I must have hit the wrong button somewhere. So to finish this one off, we need a total air and naval transport. I don't understand. What is happening? Why are you doing this? Stop it. Go away, transports. Oh, there are other transports here. I see. I'm just hitting the wrong button because I'm a doofus. Merge these units. There we go. Okay. So we've got 3 infantry regiments over here that we can attach artillery to. We're only building 2 artillery, so let's build another artillery. Just nice and easy, just to finish everything out. As reserves, we'll bump it up all the way up to the top. Got a nice discount for it, and we've built another one. So we'll transport it right back down here, do the exact same thing again. Wonderful stuff. And now let's see if I can avoid clicking the wrong button. Group. Wonderful. There's one more artillery. It is May. July. We've got 2 months until we can click this button and start the war. Yes, Lithuania, you can build one of my aircraft. That's fine. It will not affect me in any significant way. Okay, I'm not sure how far we can get with just 5 infantry units that we can land somewhere with. So until these Marines are built, I'm not certain that we're going to be doing any significant naval invasions. I think we're just going to be fighting basically up in the north, and we'll do a naval invasion over here to attempt to maybe trap somebody. Might be in the cards. Maybe just flank them if they have a good defensive position. Okay, we've got our new light cruiser, and we are sort of running short on screening units in this carrier group. So we're going to deploy the Kumano, the light cruiser, to this carrier group. We now have a 5 capital ship to 7 screen ratio, which is good enough. It's not fantastic, but it's good enough. And yeah, all of our build requests have basically completely overloaded the production queue of ours. But that's all right. It is officially June, and we don't have anything immediately upcoming. By the end of this month, we'll have another carrier air group that we can deploy to that carrier group that we have sitting in Nagasaki. But other than that, we're basically done building units in preparation for this war. So we have 240,000 infantry and cavalry arrayed on the northern Chinese border, our southern Manchurian border. We also have roughly 80,000 garrison corps aligned along the eastern border with the Soviet Union, completely undefended northern border with the Soviet Union over here. Basically, I'm just betting on the fact that the Soviets aren't going to attack us until much later on in the game. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair thing to say. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that they're not going to do anything to us. There's that CAG. We are going to deploy it over here to Nagasaki, and then have you rebased to a carrier over here. We now have a total of 7 carrier air groups with this wing. Like, this is a significant amount of air force that we have. We can fly around with. It's yeah, really can't complain about that at all. We can basically go anywhere and get air superiority immediately. And there's that naval base efficiency. We now have, wow, it's 20% per level. All right, we now have an additional 20% of naval base efficiency. We're going to keep doing that because supplies are going to be very important. Aircraft carrier anti-aircraft armament upgrade, fantastic. Absolutely, yeah. Keep doing those. Keep doing those. It's 1937 now, so they're not ahead of time technologies anymore. And here we go. We can do the Marco Polo Bridge incident. And there we are. Japanese garrison troops. Do we have a box? Yeah, okay. Japanese garrison troops in Fengtai, southwest of Beiping, clashed with Chinese forces at the Marco Polo Bridge. The battle was at first limited to a local conflict, and some hurried negotiations restored order. But soon thereafter, new incidents flared up, and Japanese forces began offensive operations. Nationalist China has told us about the events of Marco Polo Bridge happening in their country. We are now officially at war with Nationalist China. Now, who else are we at war with? Are we at war with Shaanxi? We are. Are we at war with the communists? We are not. What about the Guangxi clique down here? Nope, not at war with them either. We can immediately enact more efficient laws. Can't go up to heavy industry. We can't go up to totalitarianism, but we can enact service by requirement. That brings our manpower modifier from 25% to 100%. Our reserves penalty impact down to negative 10%, but I mean, we're not going to have any reserve units, considering we're at war. We're all going to be fully mobilized. And our officer recruitment percentage goes from 25% to 50%. So absolutely fantastic. I don't know why we can enact that. I must be reading that that tooltip wrong. And we can do total economic mobilization. So rather than, once again, it's not there. We can go from war economy, which is just 25% additional IC, to 50% additional IC. That is probably not going to be in the cards for us, to be entirely honest. We're already having enough money difficulties that going from 25 to an additional 50% IC, I don't think we can support it, honestly. I mean, we can always go down. Let's just do it for now. We'll see if we can produce enough supplies, trade away enough supplies to actually support that nonsense, but I'm not going to bet on it. So we're going to firstly up the supplies, let our AI know that it can sell it, and then decrease our consumer goods. Like, look at this. Because we're no longer at peace, our population is willing to accept less consumer goods being produced. So we can go from needing like 50 consumer goods, 50 IC in consumer goods, all the way down to 2.5. So we have a significant amount more that we can invest into production now, which is absolutely fantastic. And now we can actually, you know, engage in some operations, military operations against the Chinese. So we have a tactical bomber sitting here in Port Arthur. We are going to set it on a ground attack, which basically means that it's going to look for a ground unit and then look for a ground unit in combat and pick the ones that are in combat and basically support our troops. We're going to do the same thing with you. We have a naval bomber. I'm not certain if you're going to actually find any Chinese forces to attack, but we might as well put you on convoy raiding. In this region over here, you might be basically useless. And the interceptor, what's your range looking like? Not very good, but you can reach both of these, and we know that the Chinese have aircraft over here. So yeah, we're going to do a air superiority mission over here. Sounds fine to me. That means that he'll attempt to stay in the air as much as possible. We're going to move our carrier group over here, and then use our CAGs to really make sure that they can't do anything in the air. Basically, is our goal. I think submarines down in the south here. Actually, let's just do a big old ring of submarines. I think that's a good idea. Where did we put our submarines? I forget. I just sort of moved them somewhere. Yeah, okay, here we go. And they're all rank 4, so we don't need to worry about it. 2 in each group is normally just fine. There we go. And what is the range on these guys? 2,600 kilometers. Not much. Not much. But you can come all the way down here. So we will have one of you convoy raiding down here. Yep. You will be convoy raiding over here. Can you not reach over there? Oh, you have a range of 800? How did that happen? Oh boy. Coastal subs, I guess. Well, let's rebase you over here. Wow. That's surprising. You guys have 2,600 range. So we'll have you, I don't know, right here. Don't need to rebase you guys. And then the 5th Navy, are you submarines? Yes. And you have 26 and 3,500. All right. Well, we'll stick you right here. And then we'll close this with that other group of submarines convoy raiding over here. So hopefully the Chinese will not be able to get any shipping out without us being able, at least, to intercept it. We've got the outdated Navy over here. These are the guys that we don't want in actual combat. But we'll just have them sit over here in front of Shanghai, just in case the Chinese decide to move their Navy out. We'll just give them something to think about. And then we'll have these guys patrolling, I think, in this area. Probably a little bit of a waste of our time, really. And of fuel and all that stuff. I do think we're going to want to take this port as soon as possible, basically push up as soon as possible. So yeah, I think we're just going to attack across our entire front line here. We can't move directly in through there, so these units are going to attack Tianjin. You two are going to attack Beiping. You two are going to attack down here. And technically this province does connect to this province, but I'm not worried about this unit attacking and taking this province from us, because we're just going to attack from behind anyway. It's not that big of a deal. And I think we are just going to advance across the entire front line if we can. We're going to attack up there with you. Oh, nope. No, we're not. We're just going to push straight in with you guys. Two of you can go up here, and two of you can go down there. Wonderful. Wonderful news. Slow the game down just a little bit, see how our battles are going. We have 121%, which is this mountain province over here, behind the river. I think we'll be okay. It's going to be a little bit expensive, probably, but I think we'll be okay. And we are being counterattacked, so let's break off that attack there. And yeah, he's going to break off that attack. We have won the Battle of Tianjin. We have won the Battle of Jining. And Kahar. And this one. Okay, yeah, they broke off their counterattack up there. We are already in the red with basically every single one of our resources. We have a naval combat. They found our carrier group. I'm willing to bet that our carrier air group is doing just fine against them. Yeah. Not entirely certain that they... Yeah, we're not going to destroy their ships with carrier air groups at this point in the game. Our navies are still not... Sorry, our naval bombing still isn't to the point where it's overpowered just yet. Oh, but our outdated navy has basically corralled them over here in Nantong. That's fantastic. It's wonderful. Yeah, we've basically almost taken Beijing. Amelia Earhart has disappeared. The famous aviator, Amelia Earhart, first woman to complete a solo flight across the Atlantic, has disappeared along with her navigator Fred Noonan, near Howland Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The two were attempting a flight around the entire world in their twin-engined Lockheed Electra plane when they vanished. By the way, the Lockheed Electra is a beautiful plane. It really does just look gorgeous. A search for the missing aviator is now being conducted by the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard. Queen of the Air is lost. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think... They never find her. It's like one of the famous unsolved mysteries or some nonsense like that. Okay, we're still letting our artillery reinforce. We do have a significant amount of reinforcement to do at this point. Our naval bomber is not doing anything. Whatever, that's fine. How are we doing in here? This is probably foolish to do. But I do just want to push them out. Like I want them out. I want them gone. Alright, we have taken Tianjin and Beiping, which has given us an additional 0.36 leadership, as well as more rare materials, more metal, and more energy. And I believe it'll start to provide us with some manpower as well. We have more research possible because of this, so I think we need to just sink it into, destroyer engine tech. And because we do not quite have excellent operational level organization, I mean, we need to wait basically until 1940 before we can research the next level of it. We can't just continue moving on. Can't just continue moving forward. We need to wait for our units to reorganize and relax a little bit, giving them time to do the same thing, which is unfortunate. But we are sinking enemy transports, which is fantastic. Yeah, we're gonna win this. It's just gonna be a little bit of an expensive fight, I think. A little bit more expensive than we might have wanted. But with the addition of this level 5 port, it's going to be much easier for us to supply our troops now, I think. We are going to want to take more ports, though, especially Qingdao. Qingdao is an excellent port. In fact, this That's probably the best port location for us. Invite to faction from Germany. Already? You want to invite us to the Axis already? Is Italy part of the Axis yet? No. It's just us? Huh. Well, it's an interesting choice. I think we need to accept. I mean... I would have liked to have kept our freedom of movement, you know, our freedom of choice, for at least a little bit, but I think it's the best decision for us at this point. We've already attacked the nationalist Chinese. The United States is going to start getting pissed at us. Yeah, they already see us as their highest threat. Soviets are already going to get pissed at us. Hopefully, the Germans don't expect us to help them too much against the Soviet Union. Hopefully the Soviets... I mean, there are so many variables right now. Germany still hasn't annexed Austria. They still haven't annexed Czechoslovakia. We don't know that they're going to be strong. I mean, they already look strong, but there's every possibility that they're going to get just raffle stomped. They're not even garrisoning their French border over here. What are you doing, Germany? Crazy nonsense. They do still have 2 years before their war actually starts, so I guess it's to be expected. Alright, well, I've been streaming for about an hour. I think I'm going to take a break for a little bit. I will be back soon. I think I'm just going to like heat up my coffee for a little bit, and we'll keep going here. So thanks for joining me. I don't really have like a title screen or anything like that to say I'll be right back or something, so I'm just going to leave this up for now. But yeah, I will be right back, I promise. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Got my coffee. It's really hot. Can't drink any of it yet. Let's get back set up here. Here we go. Alright, so, planning. Need to think about this for a bit. What are you looking at here? We have, well, let's focus. We'll let Germany do its thing over there. I'm not going to get too worried about it. We have Marines in production. They're being built at full efficiency. Unfortunately, their cost increased because we're no longer building them as reserve units. We're building them as full-strength units, so they're costing about 10.5 each at this point. But that's all right. I really don't want to do the naval invasion with this brigade over here until we have another artillery unit to flesh this one out, but really I don't think that that's going to be too necessary. Now, we're not at war down here with the Gangxi clique, so it would be relatively simple to take these mountains down here, Gangshu, take basically all of this from the Chinese, but at any point the Gangxi clique could declare war on us, so that would be pretty bad. Another option would be to come over here, take Ningbo and Shanghai, and try to push into Nanjing, just really mess them up, really mess with them. But I do think that our best bet is still going to be just to push from the north here. These units are almost ready to continue the attack. We've lost the neutrality effect, that's fine. But I do think we just need to push while we have them off, like on their back foot. We need to just continue to push, keep going, keep moving. You'll join in the attack when you can. These units are going to be increasingly useless as time goes on. Yeah, let's push in through here. Split it. 2 over here, 2 over there. Can't move into that province. Yeah, okay. Too low infrastructure. We're reaching the mountains and the deserts and all that fun stuff with our cavalry over here, so we'll move you down, you over there, just as soon as you can attack. Yeah, they're just retreating right away. 3 battles won without any losses. Things are going well across the front line. This is still going to be the most expensive battle over here. That's a good ratio. That's a very good ratio. 10 to 273. Fantastic. Fantastic. Sinking more transports. What another battle. Really no difficulties up until this point. What's this? What's happening here? They decided to stick around and fight. Cavalry unit. Losing organization very quickly. Yeah, that'll be fine for us. Fine for us. We actually don't need as much IC and consumer goods. We are going to be also gaining industrial capacity. We just took over, looks like 5 factories there and 2 here. Let's look at our occupation policies. We have a collaboration government at this point, which means that we're focusing on getting manpower. We get 45% manpower, 30% leadership, and 25% resources. I think we want a full occupation, which tanks our leadership and manpower. People are less willing to, deal with us, but really the reason we're doing this is for factories and the resources, and I don't want to only get 25% of the resources from these provinces. I want to get a full 65%. So yeah, we're going to go full occupation. We'll deal with the partisans when they happen, but it might be a little bit of a challenge when they do happen to deal with them. I'm sure we'll be fine, though. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, okay. Winning battles, winning battles. We're almost done here. He's almost completely out of organization. Really, he's just delaying for his friend to get into a better position over there. And we've moved on this province. We are ready for another attack. We will continue moving forward basically as quickly as we can. Move the HQ along with him. And yeah, you're going to keep moving as well. Doing fine across the whole front here. Not going to worry too much about surrounding anybody or anything like that. We'll take advantage of any opportunities they present us, but I do predict that as soon as the Chinese get their act together, they're basically going to be redeploying all of their troops from up here and over here and down here, defending all of their other borders. They're going to be redeploying them to the north. We want to take as much territory while we're not completely outnumbered as possible. So to that end, we are going to keep moving. We have you moving over here. You guys are doing fine. Yeah, this front line is going to get too long for us to properly defend unless we land some people over here in Qingdao. So I think we will. I think we are going to land these troops over here in Qingdao without the artillery brigade supporting. We will need to wait until January of next year for the full Marine brigades to be done, which is unfortunate. It basically means we're going to need to wait a long time for this war to actually finish. We're going to move our transports up into the coast of Qingdao. We will move our CAGs over here as well. And I think we're just going to use the CAGs to pound this defending infantry division into basically oblivion. Meantime, let's make sure that everybody's still moving. Yeah, doing fine over here. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's move you in here. You guys can't quite move yet. You got another, looks like 2 days before you can move again. These cavalry units are being nice and quick. Yeah, let's do that. See if we can take out Shaanxi, annex this territory. Speaking of which, we need to worry about war goals. Let's see, yeah, we'll add a war goal just to conquer them. Puppet them. No, we want to conquer them. Yeah. Yeah, there's really no question about that. We could create our own puppet states in this area. And with the carrier air groups, we're going to reserve 3 of them, I think, and just use these guys to do a ground attack in the one province. Just that one. Let's see how we're doing. Alright. Basically took down a full % of them already. That's amazing. We'll do that for a little bit. At least until transport gets up there. Transport's probably already up there, isn't it? Probably. Where is this transport? I haven't named them. Okay, transport's already there. We're going to wait until this unit is fairly weak. Who am I kidding? We can beat him. We're going to land 3 units here. 1 over here. And we're going to attack directly into Qingdao with 1. And it's not going to go very well for this one poor unit here. They're... oh my goodness, they've only got 2 divisions. Okay, we'll be just fine. It's going to be a tough naval invasion, but it's going to be a good naval invasion. It's not going to be too difficult, really. Yep, doing fine, doing fine. You guys need to keep going. Good stuff, good stuff. You need to wait another 10 hours or so before you can move on. But move on you will, and you as well. Yeah, this invasion of Qingdao, let's see, we're about 40% on the beaches. We've lost about 1% of our total strength so far. But they've lost about 5% thanks to our bombings, and our shore bombardment will be a-okay. Sinking more of their transports is nice. I don't even know where they're transporting things to. Like, I don't even know what the whole purpose of that is. And yeah, we're just going to continue the advance. How are you doing? Are you going to be able to punch through them? Ooh, I don't think so. No. Yeah, that river crossing is going to be a bit of a challenge, isn't it? I think you can do it, though. We'll do a supporting attack from over here with one of these guys. 30 hours. So as soon as you have the ability to do a supporting attack, do it. And we've got a whole bunch of units moving into this province as well, so we'll support the attack from over there as well. Should be fine. 1 Heizhan. Wonderful stuff. Why are you not moving forward? Keep moving forward. What do we got over here? Yep, keep moving. Okay, we have a nice surround over here. Let's do supporting attack from the sides here. We have a limited amount of time here because we don't have a port. Well, okay, we didn't have a port. Now we have a port. I'm going to select these carrier air groups and tell them to just go back to carrier air group duty. Quit the bombing of the province that we already control. We're going to move these 2 units in to surround the port of Weiwei over here, Weihai. And instead of moving over here, just move over there. Should be just fine. And our transports, we're going to move back to, I guess, Sasebo over here. Why can you not rebase? Oh, you're already rebased to Sasebo. Okay. Well, how about just go there then? Yeah. Sounds fine to me. Oh, you've already... Okay, you've got somebody in there. Just drop them off. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Sometimes controlling these ships is a humongous pain. I've got to say. Alright, doing fine except for this combat. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but they can't do as much damage to us as we can do to them. Upgrades is going fine. We're still producing a whole bunch of supplies in the hopes that our AI will trade them away for more actual resources. Doing fine over here. How's that battle going? Oh, just fine. Cannot complain. Alright, so this air superiority flight. Rebase to Beiping. And then do air superiority basically right over their airfield. I don't want them to be able to even get in the air. Yeah. I think once we get to this river, we're going to slow down our advance for just a little bit, just so we can reorganize everything, make sure that everything is still okay. Okay, push them out of there with that supporting attack. Things going just fine. You are already responsible for that province, so we're gonna cut you down here, cut you over here. One down there, 2 over there. Oh, you're already doing it. Okay. Second guessing myself way too much. Okay, formation of Manchukuo. Now, I never really understood this. It's just creating another puppet state for us, basically, out of this region up here, which doesn't have anything. Like, there's no resources, no manpower, no nothing up here. The only thing they may get is this province, which has a little bit of energy in it. But I suppose I'd rather give it to it and not have to deal with revolt risk up there. It doesn't look like there is any revolt risk. But it was a historical event that happened, so yeah, let's create another puppet state. Why not? There we go. Manchukuo. Did they get anything? No, they didn't. Fine. Whatever works. Oh, we can expand it as well, if we control a significant amount of their territory. Well, that's fine then. Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep doing that. That's just fine by me. Okay. So we just need to control more territory. We can expand Manchukuo. Good stuff. In the meantime, it is a puppet state of ours, so we are going to support the ruling party with our spies. We don't have any extra spies, any leftover spies or anything like that, so we can't immediately put spies in their territory, but it'll work out just fine. Light cruiser engine is better. Yeah, and that's 1940 tech. I don't think we can afford to do that quite yet, so we'll sink some more into destroyer tech. That'll be just fine. Yeah. Yes, it will be a-okay. Doing good, doing well. Moving down this way. I'm just going to keep moving. They're not putting up really any resistance at this point, so there's really no reason to slow down our advance or stop at all. They just sent that unit basically to be surrounded. I'm not entirely certain what the purpose of that was. Okay, and we got our HQ here, which is good. Let's attach you to the Kuantang army. And we'll push you forward as well. Yeah, we've got backup. We'll move you over there. That'll be fine. Are we at war with the communists? No, we're not. We might want to declare a war with the communists. But I mean, if they're not going to attack us, then we might as well not attack them. We're also not at war with the Zaibei-san Maklik, so we're not worried about that. How about Yunnan? Nope, not at war with them either. So they haven't formed the United Front yet. That's probably something they should think about doing, honestly. Alright, how close is Shaanxi to surrendering? We just need to take Taiwan from Shaanxi. We've already got a conquer war goal. Let's add... Alright, we've got a special war goal for this war for nationalist China. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's going well. We can move up into Rizal from here and still control the front line with just 2 units. And we've almost linked up. Yeah, let's take Jinan. I need a unit to protect Huntai down here. So we'll take one of you over here to Huntai. And then we need you to move to Yuchang after that. And you to move over here into Pingying. Control this river. And I need one of you to move over here to Laocheng. And one of you to move up down here to Puyang. You I want to move all the way down to Zhaozhou. And we'll deal with the rest of it when the time comes. And then we'll work on linking up these lines. Qingdao is a full level port. It's level 10, which means we can move in 72 units of supplies every day, which is fantastic. Weihai is only level 4, but that's another significant amount of supplies we can move in per day. Oops. We need more consumer goods. Fine. We are, unfortunately, running out of metal. Our rare materials are not doing spectacularly either. I'm sure it'll be fine, but... Okay, what do I have you guys doing? Nothing. What we need is Taiwan, right here. The one that they're stacking all their units onto. So we're moving you into... Okay, that's fine. We'll keep one in this province, and one will move on. No, move on. And we'll do the same with you. Move into here, and then into here. And you will continue moving and down into Pingyao. Sounds fine. And you're going to move into Yanquan. No, we've got somebody already moving into Yanquan. Down to Lunfen. And once again, I sincerely apologize for absolutely butchering every single one of these names. Yeah, seems fun to me so far. I think we are going to keep some units along the communist border just in case they do decide to get it in their heads that they want to attack us. So we're going to keep one cavalry here. We'll move this infantry over there. But the rest of these guys we're going to continue moving in with. That's impassable territory. And we're gonna move down around this way, see if we can't get a full surround of the communists before we actually attack them. Yep, everything seems fine. They might put up a little bit of a fight down here in Jinan, but we've already crossed the river. We already have our foothold across the river, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's like another transport. Our submarines are doing their job. This is the hardest fight that we've had, and they are so unorganized that they can't really put up that much of a fight at all. We do have a river crossing penalty that's pretty bad, and this is into mountains, so it's probably going to take a while. But I don't think they can really put up much of a fight at all. Now this, whoa, holy misclick, Batman. This is basically all mountain territory now, and we don't have any specialized mountain troops. So it might be very slow going for us, but I mean, that's sort of to be expected, so it's fine. All right. Let's re-look at our tactical bombers missions here. We'll just give them a nice big old mission so we don't need to worry about it anymore. Just huge ground attack mission. That'll be fine. Naval bomber, I'm not entirely certain you're doing anything anymore. Actually, I know for a fact you aren't. So we'll just have you go back and dock. Here's an interesting fight. Yu-Chen. One of our infantry against one of their infantry, but we're crossing a river to find them. Yeah, we're moving in like this. We'll use you as a support. Unfortunately, you are also going to be crossing a river, so we are fighting from two sides, crossing a river on both sides. Well, it's not going to be an efficient attack, but I'm sure we'll be able to handle it. Yeah, that won't be a problem. We're getting our surround on Taiwan. Honestly, I'm not certain that we need to really worry too much about it. Can't move there, so we already have a unit. Yeah, we're already moving in here. So we're just going to continue moving you forward, and you are going to go over there. Sounds fine to me. Win, win, win. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And we've already taken Jinan. Pushing their units up here back is a good thing. We'll move in on that territory, see if we can't take them prisoner. Remove them from the game. See if my coffee's cool enough to drink now. Yep, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's take a look at how Germany's doing. It is July of 37, so they're doing just fine, except they still haven't fully garrisoned their border over there with France. Sort of silly of them, but they seem to be basically spamming infantry, which is fine. They can do that if they want. I'd like to see more tanks, honestly, from Germany. Germany builds very good tanks. I'd like to see more of that. But we'll see what they do. We'll see what they decide to do. This battle's going all right. Still not thrilled about it, but we're winning. Beating him. Can't complain. I mean, we might as well keep moving forward while they're not arraying troops against us, you know? Like, there's no reason for us to sit here not doing anything. We're going to move you, except for you, down into here. And you as well. We'll start that attack. You're not going to be able to do much of anything about it until we get more troops in here from the north. But that's fine. Taking Zhengzhou would be nice as well, but we don't have any supporting troops. It's just this one infantry regiment down there at this point. let's start the attack on Taiwan. It's just a militia unit that they have defending it right now. So that one unit will be more than enough to push them out of there. It won't be a problem. Yep, doing good, doing good. And yeah, we could beat them one-on-one. Easy. Easy stuff. We're only attacking at 55% efficiency, but we have a skill 4 general against their skill 0. Hey, there we go! We have a special effect. We have the entirety of the Chihili Gulf. We have plus 20% research and plus 20% supply throughput. Now, we don't get plus 20% supplies, just moving them is 20% cheaper. It's a significant bonus, but it's really not that significant. It's not going to win the game for us, but that research efficiency is really nice. I'm not sure how controlling a Gulf gives us research efficiency, but I'm really not going to complain about it. Okay, as soon as we move a unit in here into Taiwan, we'll have the Shaanxi surrender. Now, it will be a question of who takes control of the rest of the country. Will the nationalist Chinese take control of the rest of the country? Who's going to take control of their troops afterwards? Hoping it's us, but I doubt it. Their troops might just pop out of existence. They'll probably just pop out of existence, yeah. It's really not going to be a real problem. And we are now starting to have serious supply issues. We have linked up the lines. We've taken Qingdao. We are shipping in as many supplies as we can. But it's not enough yet. It's nowhere near enough, it looks like. We are using every single port that we can, but we still are running out of supplies. We can't support all of these troops along the front line. So we're going to need to slow down our advance a little bit. Slow it down. Taking away Fang will be nice because it's it's got good infrastructure. It'll be easy to transport supplies through there. But we need to wait for a little bit. Infantry, troops in general in combat. There's Taiwan. Shaanxi should be at 100%. Yeah. Infantry troops in combat use more supplies than troops outside of combat. There we go. We've completely annexed them. Their troops are gone. Magic. Absolute magic. Completely gone. We're not at war with Zaibai Sanma. So let's just have our cavalry do what? What are we going to have our cavalry do? We're going to continue advancing with this infantry. At least we're going to put them over here. Cavalry, one regiment there, and one can't go there. That's a non-infrastructure to province. One over here. Okay, so we have the cavalry basically all set, all situated. They're covering this incredibly low infrastructure area. Can we expand Manchukuo? We can. Wonderful. Boom. Click the button. Much bigger now. Look at that. They still don't have anything. Oh, they have an energy province. They have the city of Hohhot. Hohhot. They have a total of plus 7 energy here in this province. Yeah, 7 energy. They have a little bit of manpower, a little bit of leadership. Maybe they'll actually build an infantry unit of some sort. I'm not sure. Do we have the ability to expand them again? No, that's the same. That's the exact same event. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. Awesome. What is this, like Lower Mongolia, basically? Mongolia? That's what it looks like. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we've established where our cavalry is going. Cavalry is taking care of Manchukuo, the Manchukuo front up here. So now we need to figure out what we're going to do with our infantry. We have you on the communist border. You're going to go down to Shiloh. You're going to go down here to Xinjiang. You're going to go all the way down here to Yongchang. And you're going to go to Yankuo. Yes. Sounds fine. And once again, we are going to need to slow down our rate of advance. This just plain movement is fine, but we're going to start having difficulties when it comes to our actual combat, because, I mean, fighting with infantry that doesn't have supplies is, generally speaking, not a good idea. Just saying. We need to figure out what we're going to do with all these units. We can afford to push down here a significant amount, possibly even to this river. Let's do that. Let's plan for that. Move in there. Move in there. I'm going to have you push across this river here just to get a good foothold there. And we'll use you as support. You're going to push to Jining and then down here. You're going to help out and then move on to Waishan. You're going to move down here. I can't give you fancy commands yet, but you're going to move over here and then come over that way. You're going to move through here and then come that way. What's it look like right now? All right, and we've got the front line situated. Everybody else is basically just support, so we're going to move them there. And then we'll decide what we're going to do afterwards. Sounds fine. Don't need to micromanage it anymore. How are we doing in the air? They are bombing us. Why are they bombing us? We've got air superiority. Where are they bombing us from? Where's their airbase? All the way on here? Yep, looks like they've got troops down there. Well, airplanes. We can use our CAGs to bomb the living daylights out of them. We're gonna do... Let's just do air superiority in a big ol' area. Have these guys fly around. Yeah, they've got... Okay, that'll be fine. Not worried about it anymore. And oh boy, no supplies at all. Not good. So all those fancy commands we just gave our troops are basically worthless at this point. Well, we slow down a little bit. We wait for these Marines to get done. Looks like January still of next year. And we actually have enough industrial capacity now that we can start producing something else. Oh boy, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? We build more Imperial Guard? No, we can't. Okay. Can't build any more elite troops. That's unfortunate. I suppose, yeah, we can start... Let's start the upgrade of these guys. We can upgrade these units to motorized. Yeah, that's a good decision. We'll upgrade all these guys to motorized. And then we're going to tack on a build as individual brigades to light armor in parallel. Yeah. Gonna be expensive, but it'll be fine. And that will keep us set on production. We need 170, we can only provide 130. That'll keep us well set, well and good for that for a while. We are transporting as many supplies as physically possible, and I think that when we don't, like when we decide to not move everyone all at once, we'll be fine. I honestly think we will be just fine if we decide that we don't want to move everybody across the entire front line at the exact same time. So we're going to advance down to this river. and advance over here down to our borders, and then we'll take a look at where we're at, where the enemy's at, and what our goals are here. Because the goals basically are to get down to this middle area here and force them to surrender. We can take Guangzhou, and we can take these coastal provinces, the victory points, with just like 1 or 2 units each, and then not worry about advancing further in. We really just want to force them to surrender, basically. I wonder why it's still showing this. Are there more provinces we can give them after we annex more territory? There's no good like claims of other people map mode. You can look at your own claims and cores and that sort of thing, but we can't look at Menkuko's claims and cores. It doesn't look like it. Datong. Let's just take a look at this individual province. I guess we'll look at Large Front instead. Where's Large Front on here? Here it is. Human Wave, very important. Yes. Ground Battle Plan, very important. Yes. Okay. We'll keep researching those. Datong and Huairen. Let's take a look at that. Datong. No, I don't think it's on there. I don't think we're going to be able to click this button ever again. I think we already clicked it, and I don't really know why it's continuing to show it to us. Huh. Weird stuff. Alright, so some of our advances have been curtailed because of the lack of supplies. They lose all their orders when they don't have supplies anymore, because obviously they can't attack anymore. So we're going to use you to push down here, and you to push down here. Please, thank you. And then everybody else we're just going to deal with as it stands. He's got 15 days of oh, okay. He's got some supplies left. Taking this province will help. I'm not sure how big of a naval base it is, but regardless of how big it is, it'll allow us to bring that much more in terms of supplies in there. Another big problem is this is really crappy infrastructure. It costs a whole bunch of supplies just to transport supplies through here. Hey, multi-role fighters! We are going to want to expand our aircraft, our air force, fairly soon. We can't just rely on carrier air groups. Although I suppose we could. Like, we could very easily just rely on carrier air groups. I suppose there's nothing really wrong about it. Yeah, we're going to need to choose rather carefully, actually, our avenues of advance, I suppose, to avoid completely running out of supplies and allowing the Chinese to just counterattack us willy-nilly, however they like. This is the Chinese Navy, and we've got our carrier air groups right in front of it. Let's just attack it. Just demolish them, yeah. It's not like they can move. We've got our Navy right up outside. Go ahead, try to move it. I dare ya. I dare ya. It's not gonna happen. Coffee. Come on. I believe in you. You move so slowly. I mean, honestly, you're moving at a maximum of 4 kilometers per hour, but... Okay, I'm taking the piss out of them, honestly. They're not moving slowly. They're walking across China. They're walking across the entirety of northern China. I should be impressed that they moved this far from July until August. Like, that's a significant distance. And, I mean, someone was shooting at them as well. Like, really, I need to chill out a little bit. Let's move in and take this city, I think, since we've got extra troops. Shift to the right a little bit, I suppose. Okay, we've got you moving down here to Shangjian. You guys can push up here into Neze. And yeah, we'll just shift everybody over. One of you in there, one of you in there. I guess, yeah, we'll just move everybody in through there, like this. See if we can... I don't want to push across the river with these guys. There's really no point. There's no purpose. We take Xi'an, that's fine. But this is just empty. Empty nonsense territory that... I mean, we could take their horses from them. Ooh. It's good defensible territory. It's hills. We need to attack across the river. There's really no point to it, and we can use this as the axis to shift everything along. Yeah. I think we surround the communists. Got one here. Let's push across into Tungshan and Hacheng. Oh boy, I mispronounced these names. And then we'll move into Longjian over here and maybe take Xi'an if we can. But we surround the communists, stick behind this river, let them come to us over there, and we'll use that as the axis of rotation to push down and to the south in that direction. That seems fine to me. And how big was this port? It was level 4. That's a pretty good port. It's an additional 22 supplies per day. So yeah, everything will be fine. Everything will be a-okay. Speaking of being a-okay, we have until January 7th. So just a few more months until our Marines get deployed and we can actually start thinking in earnest about dropping them off, doing a naval invasion of the Shanghai region. Just got a nice, nice forts over here. We can take Nantong, Wuxi, over here to Hangzhou, and that's only 3 border provinces, so if we take all of these, that's 4. So a full Marine regiment would be able to push pretty deep. Depending on how crazy we want to get, we might even be able to take Nanjing with just that Marine regiment, link up with these guys. I think that's the plan. I think at this point what we want to do is not push along this coast any further. Well, this is pointless, useless territory. We're going to expand our front down in the middle here, down to this river, and this river. Just push in general down, take Zhengzhou from them. And use this as the axis of sort of rotation. And then in January, we will land the Marines over here in Shanghai, in the Shanghai region, and do our best to take Nanjing from them, and then link up these 2 fronts. Just do a whole big old rotation down that way. I think that's a good plan. And in the meantime, we can... yeah, I know you're upgrading, I know. And in the meantime, we can basically stockpile supplies on the mainland. And yeah, I figured that was going to be a tough fight if they actually got somebody in. I think we'll be able to push them out, though. Yeah. Especially with a supporting attack. Easy stuff. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Easy stuff. It should not be this easy. I think this is my main criticism of Hearts of Iron 3. There is no reason for it to be this easy to advance into mainland China. They have easily defensible territory, plenty of rivers, plenty of natural defensible territory, and they should have one of the largest manpower pools in the game, but Japan just starts so strong. So strong. And I honestly think that the only reason they did that is to have them actually be a threat to the United States. Otherwise, like, they wouldn't be a threat to the United States. But it's just so easy to wrap up this war. And I mean, just it's been going on for what, 6 months now? And we've already taken Beijing and Jinan and Qingdao. We have a solid front line. We've taken Taiwan from them. And I don't know, it's just They don't even have the communists on their side yet. They haven't even formed the United Front. I don't know. It seems like the Chinese front needs a lot of work, if I'm being honest. But honestly, I don't know how to fix it. I'm not a game developer. All I can do is sit here and complain from behind my desk, so... Alright, on that note, I think I am going to save and quit. I've been streaming for about 2 hours today. Thank you all for joining me. This will be up on my channel. I'm not sure if I want to sit down and like edit them into half-hour long videos. I think that'd be kind of silly, so if anybody wants to just sit there and watch me play Hearts of Iron for 2 hours, it will be available on my channel. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm going to need to leave this on untouched, basically, for a decent amount of time. I'm going to, I think, work on the France live stream for a bit. Not live stream, the France game for a little bit. Pretty far along. It's actually going fairly well. But yeah, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave me any comments you want to about how I can improve, how I can do better. And if you don't, I'll just assume that I'm doing perfectly 100%. But I know that's not true. So, thank you all. I'm going to call it quits. 2 hours that will be available on my channel.